Get ready, folks. We're heading into April. Not this Sunday, because that's still the 27th of March, but on this week's show, we are going to be featuring this book, Grow Now by Emily Murphy. You can go beyond organic, rewild your land, sequester carbon, support biodiversity. I have no issue with any of those things. And we'll talk to Emily Murphy about her brand new book by Timber Press. But before we get to that, we're going to be talking to an old friend of the show, the guy who started Local Food Forum. His name is Bob Benenson. You will see that image if you go to his Facebook page. But Bob, you tell me that that is your what is that? Your personal stock photo?
Yes, that's my Amber Waves of Grain photo. I took it a few years back at Hazard Free Farm up in Pecatonica, a wonderful organic farm. I just love the way the rye in the picture plays off against the blue sky. So it almost makes me feel patriotic about the
Yeah, there is
photo.
something. And then to have a calf there in the lower part of it as well. It's all very friendly, and also it tells people about what you're doing. And you've just celebrated a second anniversary of cutting loose from the corporate world, haven't you? Well, it wasn't quite the corporate world, but something like that.
Well, it's 2 years since I started working at home, but it's a year since I went independent and started Local Food Forum. My anniversary will be next Friday, April 1st.
All right, you get a
And
ding for that.
well, thank you for the ding. And yeah, we try and cover the entire range of issues involved in the local food community, including how the whole local food scene is changing.
And it is one of the things that you just highlighted recently is that Green City Market is opening up a full month earlier than normal. How big a deal is that?
That's a really big deal. I mean, the farmers market, um, Green City has always been kind of a trailblazer in the farmers market community here since it started in 1999. They were one of the first to introduce, only local producers, only producer only products at farmers markets. And so, the farmers market season here has traditionally been May to October, the outdoor season, because that's when the plants are growing. Um, but um, I think the early April date reflects some really significant change in the way we're farming here in the Chicago region. Um, the technology for hoop houses for indoor growing in dirt, I mean, which never really existed to any great extent before, is really caught on with farmers because when you have season extension, you have more of an opportunity to sell to people all year round. So you're seeing greens, spinach, chard, kale being grown all year round, and you have um, even these hoop house tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes that are really extraordinary. A few years ago, when you thought of hothouse tomatoes, you thought it was a little really hard, sort of off orange kind of things that didn't have any flavor. And now people are growing indoor, out of season, and the tomatoes are very close to the quality of field tomatoes. I know there are some field tomato lovers who will argue with that, but they're terrific, and I'm really looking forward to getting into that.
And you must be looking forward to the spring because, as you mentioned to me before, you're a guy who doesn't go to one farmer's market a week. You're going to like six or seven, which is insane, obviously. And so that part of your season is going to ramp up. We'll talk about that. But one thing before we go, we'll also talk about a fundraiser that was just done for Ukraine that you were part of.
Well, I covered it. I was very pleased and proud that with my little newsletter they credentialed me as press to attend that event.
Hey, listen, that happens to me too. Okay, it happens all the time.
But it was the Chicago Chefs Cook for Ukraine fundraiser. The tragedy of Ukraine it has affected me personally. It shocks the conscience. My people are from Eastern Europe, so my heart is broken over this. So to be able to help to promote this event and share the information, and hopefully maybe help sell a few tickets for this fundraiser. It was remarkable. Now, all the proceeds for the fundraiser, more than $500,000, go to the World Central Kitchen, which is Chef Jose Andres' amazing nonprofit that rushes to trouble spots and disaster areas around the world and provides free, healthy, nutritious meals to people who are absolutely desperate. And so, it's just amazing that, if they had been planning this event for 2 months, 72 of the top chefs in Chicago, some of the biggest name restaurants in Chicago, all participating in this event at Navy Beer Ballroom. It would
Hmm.
have been amazing if they had 2 months to plan this. They pulled this together in 2 weeks,
Wow.
which is unheard of. It was just amazing. It just shows that when this local food community, when this restaurant community pulls together in support of each other or some important social cause, they can do miraculous things. And so it was just one of those events that I'll remember the whole rest of my life. It was just such an amazing experience.
And we will talk about that as well and how people can help the cause and get money and supplies over to Ukraine. That's coming up on Sunday. Don't forget, we'll also be talking about Grow Now with Emily Murphy. Watch the live stream at 9 a.m. Please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. We'll see you Sunday, 9 a.m. Central with Bob Benenson and more.